Well, hello everyone. Day 22. This starts the, actually I think the fourth week. We've completed the third week of the walk and now starting our fourth week. Heading well out of Knoxville now, a little place called Dandridge, Tennessee. And we'll be working my way up and out of the northern tip of Tennessee. But it's a bit of a walk still, so that's still going to take some time. But up out of Tennessee and into Virginia, which will be, I think, the last state till I get up into the area of D.C. Still got a long way to go, but chipping away at it every single day. Couple of things. Just want to say hello to Willard, the Rat Man, the gentleman I spoke to yesterday. We had a good conversation. He's an ex-Vietnam vet, and we had a good conversation about the State of the Union here and what we the people, what our role is and what we should be doing. So I just appreciate his thoughts and well wishes and prayers, and want to ask all of you out there to also pray for him, as his house, him and his wife, their house burned down one day last week, and they're making interim arrangements for living and those sorts of things. So we want to make sure we keep them in our prayers. And I just wanted to show you too the sign that my family made. My niece and her mom, my sister-in-law. My first sign kind of bit the dust, but I never showed you the replacement sign. So if you could see that, this is the replacement sign that they made, Team America, and then Freedom Walk 2010. Gets a lot of attention as I'm walking, but the most important thing about this sign really is what's on the back, and you can see that family members and all signed well wishes, which really meant a lot to me. I didn't expect that. And then my great niece and great nephew even traced their hands on there and put a picture on there for me. So this means a lot to me. This very dear to my heart, and I thank you guys all for what you're doing for the cause and the effort. Want to talk today, and this is probably going to end up being a two-parter as well, but I want to talk today about the mission here. And I want to clearly state what it is we're going to do. I've been thinking a lot about it, trying to get people to understand that the power lies within the people. That's us. And the duty to keep our government in check, again, falls back upon us. And it appears to me that in the process of decades and decades and decades of voting for people and listening to campaigns and listening to the politicians, have kind of lulled us into the belief that the only power left to us by the people really is the vote. That we're supposed to vote them in, and that's how we're supposed to control government. I say lulled because that just couldn't be further from the truth. And when you read the words of our forefathers, you begin to realize that the power that the Constitution gives the American people is far greater than that. It's far greater than just going out and having a rally and then going back and trying to vote the bums out. Because who do we vote in? We vote in more politicians. You never really know what they're going to do when they get there, because we've kind of fallen into this whole mindset today that these people got to be charismatic, and if they can't speak well, and so we always tend to vote for the most charismatic person, or the person that carries our personal agenda, which is another thing that really needs to change in this country. We got to go back to having one agenda: what's best for America, not what's best for me or what's best for my group. And that's what we've fallen into. We've become a divided nation, and just like Abraham Lincoln said, a house divided cannot stand. And this country will fall if we continue to push for our personal agendas. And I was watching on the news this morning now, once again, illegal aliens are now doing the same thing the Tea Party's doing. They're out there rallying and they're protesting because they now feel that because the laws say that if you're here illegally, police can stop you at any time and check your status. Well, they're saying that's now racial profiling. And with all the political insanity, the politically correct insanity that we've got in the society today, there's a good chance that some quick-mouthed attorney is going to turn that around on us, and all of a sudden people come here illegally and they've got rights. And this insanity's got to stop. And I'm sorry, I just don't, I've lost faith that the politicians in Washington can do anything about this. I think the system is so corrupt that there's only one way we're going to get it fixed, and that's when we, the people, assume our rightful position in this whole process, which is the leader, which is at the top. We dictate to them. They don't dictate to us. And that's the problem that I have with this administration right now. They've been dictating to us. They're telling us to just shut up and get out of the way. That has got to stop. So I want to outline what it is, in my mind, that I'm going to Washington for. And these are the charges that I'm holding against the Obama administration. So when we get to Washington, the first thing that I'm going to ask for is I'm going to ask for them to repeal the unconstitutional health care legislation that was passed illegally beyond the vision of we the people, behind closed doors, with bribes and deals and all of the, who knows what other larcenies took place. This is not acceptable. And it's not a matter of voting them out. It's a matter of stopping it now and repealing it right now. So the first thing that happens when we get there is repeal the unconstitutional health care legislation that was passed illegally, or this country goes on strike. And as I've said before, this should not be a problem for Obama, or because he's very close buddies with the SEIO, and I understand that that trader is going to be stepping down, but who knows where he's going to end up. But again, the unions have done very well with the strike and gaining power and gaining access, and look what it's taken to them. So let's just turn it around. Turnabout is fair play, and we'll turn it right around on them and say, okay, now we're going to strike. So the first thing is repeal the unconstitutional health care legislation that was passed illegally, or America goes on strike. Then it's a matter of calling for the resignation of Barack Obama, calling for the resignation of Harry Reid, and calling for the resignation of Nancy Pelosi. We want to see those resignations. And we want them to resign, or the American people are going to hold them accountable for their crimes against the state. And that gets into what the charges would be. High crimes and treason against the United States of America. Premeditated contempt, blatant disregard, and continued defiance of the oath of office in which they swore to defend, uphold, and protect the Constitution of the United States of America. Not only have they not done that, they have blatantly and now openly condemned and nullified the Constitution. And it's not just them; it's the other senators and congressmen who have been out there saying, "Well, I don't listen to I don't care about the Constitution, or I don't listen to the Constitution." These things need to stop, and these people need to and will be held accountable for their actions. So because of their blatant disregard for the Constitution, I consider that to be high crimes of treason against the United States of America, to which they will be held accountable for. So based on these things, we're calling for their resignation. Conduct unbecoming that of the office in which you hold. Listen to the way they have been talking. Is this how presidents should be talking, and speakers of the House and Senate majority leaders should be talking to the American people? I don't believe it is. I think it's conduct unbecoming. Consistent and blatant use of incendiary language that is designed to demean, divide, and incite the American people. Go back and listen to the video clips of all of these three people and the things that they have said. The horrible things that they have said. And they're now even starting to try to dig up the North-South conflict again. They're going to stop at nothing to divide this country. And again, that goes back to high crimes and treason against the United States of America. The continual use of direct threats, false accusations, lies, and misinformation. Again, high crimes and treason, unbecoming of the position that you hold. Openly admitting your willingness to pass legislation without regard to the legal process and procedures, or without regard to the will of the people. Refusing the American people full and proper background disclosure. We should know everything there is to know about the person that sits in the White House and the people that are governing this country. We should know everything about them. There should be no law that allows them to hide behind some sort of a veil that they can protect their backgrounds, so that the American people cannot see what it is they have done in their past. That's got to stop. I'm going to stop this here and then start up the second video.